Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing awesome out there. Today's Tuesday, November 16th. We're going to get started with the live stream here. I'm going to do a little bit of a different format today. So we're going to get started here in just a second. All right, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, November 16th. Hope everyone's doing well out there today. Going to jump into this video. I have an appointment, a dentist appointment I have to run to, so going to do this video a little quicker here today. But I just want to bring up, I posted earlier in the crypto channel. So crypto, if you were watching last night, I was basically calling for it. I said weekly consolidation underway, but we'll just go back to a couple of days ago. So on Sunday, I mentioned that Bitcoin's weekly candle was looking pretty nasty. I said we had 6 hours, 22 minutes left in this weekly candle. Not looking good with a large upper wick forming, and we had a weekly bull flag confirmed, but looking like a bull trap thus far. Of course, bulls could reverse with lots of time left, but that's so far looking like we could be due for weekly consolidation tomorrow. And this was on Sunday afternoon. If that occurs, I expect a drop to 60K to 58K level. So what happened yesterday? If we just go back down here, I said, folks, be careful there. The crypto slide has begun. I said weekly consolidation underway on a lot of our names. It hadn't taken place on Bitcoin yet. So I said a lot more downside could come as a result. Expect a decent drop if we see more names follow suit. BCC could be heading to 60K support test. That's exactly what we got. We had a 15-minute bear flag on watch. And then we had that 4-hour oversold conditions and $60,000 test. And that held on the first attempt. We got as low as 61,000. Then we started to rebound, and then we lost 60,000 support. So I'll just bring it up here. So you can see on the daily time frame, on the last daily candle, you can see here we got as low as 63,000. And then I'll just bring up the hourly chart here. So you can see here, actually I'll just bring up the 15-minute chart because that'll show you that 15-minute bear flag that I was looking at. So where was it here? So it was right here. So we had this 15-minute bear flag that ended up playing out, and we saw further downside. We came and we tested 61,000, and then we bounced. We got up to we bounced about $1,000, but it was pretty lackluster. We still hadn't gotten over EMA 12, and EMA 12 had been rejecting the price there on that 15-minute time frame. And you can see there, once we failed to get above it, and EMA 26 rejected as well, look where we touched down on, right at that 58K support. So I said if we lose 60,000, watch 58K, and that's exactly what we got. So just taking a look here, 58,000 held. So that hit my target, 60,000 loss, hit my 58K target. So if we zoom out to the weekly now, we have support here at 57,653. So that's going to be the new crucial level going forward. If we lose 57,653, we lose the weekly uptrend. So that's going to be a key level going forward. Now, one thing I want to highlight is how did I know that that was going to happen? Well, there was a few clues. So some names had already started weekly consolidation, and we could expect more names to follow suit. So that was clue number one. We were due for weekly consolidation. We hadn't really had a weekly pullback in quite some time. We had this weekly bull flag here, but it wasn't a huge pivot point. So we knew that there wasn't a whole lot of support, and we generally need to form these higher low supports on the way up just to avoid any big drops, right? So the more support levels that we establish on the way up, the more support and the less pullbacks out of nowhere we should see to a very large degree, right? We're not going to see huge pullbacks as long as we're forming these supports. And you can see here we did pull back quite a bit, but it was only about 11%. And again, we had that support level right there, so we held it. Now, another thing I was watching was yesterday Biden signed the infrastructure bill. So it was a bit of a sell the news reaction. And there was also some information in there regarding some laws in there regarding crypto and brokerages and who's a broker and whatnot. So that was viewed as bearish for the market. So the fact that they approved that that bill, and that bill was signed. I think that was a little bit of a sell the news event, and I think it was timed. I think they used that perfectly. And the idea is we'll go to the daily chart here. So sign the bill, and they knew futures ETF started today, right, on November 16th. So if they knew that the futures contracts and in the futures ETF, it doesn't hold physical Bitcoin, you're just betting on the price of future price, whether it's going to be higher or lower. So imagine all of the whales who, were able to reload cheaper. So they sold in anticipation of this infrastructure bill, right? So the market makers are selling, knowing that that bill is likely going to create a sell the news because it's viewed as bad for crypto, but then knowing full well that the futures ETF is going to come out today. So in my opinion, what I think they did is they crashed the price so that whales could reload a lot cheaper near that 57,000 support. And then now today we're bouncing. And what I think could happen is we could see this as our temporary bottom, and we could be heading up to the $75K to $80,000 mark on Bitcoin. And then we should see alts start to outperform Bitcoin over the next few weeks and months. But only expecting another 2 to 3 months at the most of this bull cycle. And then I think we're going to enter a pretty big bear market. Not going to lie. I think we could see, anywhere from 70 to 80% downside on a lot of our crypto names. So again, just to recap, I think that they knew that a lot of the market makers knew that this bill was going to pass, this infrastructure bill. They knew it was going to be viewed as bad for crypto. So they used it as an opportunity to sell the top, then reload about, 12% cheaper, and then buy the bottom right on 57,650 support. They buy that bottom, and then today they make bullish bets on the Bitcoin price. So not only were they able to load up on their Bitcoin a lot cheaper, they were able to load up on Bitcoin and then also make bullish futures ETF futures bets, betting that the price is going to exceed, $75,000. Then they're double dipping, right? So I think this was all planned. It's just the timing's absolutely too perfect. What are the odds that the infrastructure bill comes out, which is bad for crypto, and then the next day the futures ETF launches? Just a little bit too coincidental for me, and I think that it was completely planned. But if you're wondering if the Bitcoin bottom is in, I do think it is. I think we're basically at a point now where we've seen that retracement, that healthy consolidation. We held our key support there at 57,653, and I think that we could be heading higher from here. But taking a look at the rest of the crypto space, you can see here all charts are basically identical. So we're just following Bitcoin at the moment. And like I said, what I could see is one more big final push on Bitcoin. We target 75,000 to 80K, maybe 100K, depending on what type of news catalyst we get to push that FOMO and that hype. But I think that we're nearing a top here on Bitcoin soon, and that we could start to see that money rotate into altcoins. And I think that altcoins are going to go absolutely ballistic into the end of the year. So we'll just take a look at SPY here real quick. So SPY is a daily inside bar. We're sitting at 467.33 pre-market. So a daily inside bar, we have support at 466.23. If we lose that, we start daily consolidation, but we are holding daily EMA 12 here on SPY, which has been holding since all the way back in the middle of October. So that'll be notable if we do lose EMA 12 on the daily time frame. And that support level is currently sitting at 463.84, but we do have resistance there at 468.81. So if we do break resistance, we're likely heading up to all-time highs. And if we lose support at 466.23, we're likely heading down to EMA 12 there at that 463.84 level, which has been holding. Tesla sitting at 1,003.9 cents. I saw that Elon Musk was taking shots at Bernie Sanders, basically saying, I forget you're even alive, basically taking shots at his age. And then he also said, Bernie Sanders also mentioned that we should be taxing the wealthy more. And basically Elon just was joking around saying, should I sell another 50% of my Tesla stock? What do you want me to do? So clearly not a big fan of Bernie Sanders, Elon Musk, but we're still holding 1,000. But yesterday we did lose our support here at 987. We got as low as 978. So we did confirm a daily downtrend, but not much follow through. So that means if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, we do have our weekly consolidation. But what happens when you see a daily trend change with no follow through? You zoom out and you look for a flag. So if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, that's not a very clear level. So there is a bit of a higher low here at 708. But if we just ignore that because it wasn't a huge pullback, we'll just go back to this low because that was a bit more convincing. You can see that that actually lines up perfectly with a weekly bull flag. But we wouldn't want to see us lose 978, or that's going to decrease the odds of that weekly bull flag. But like I said, when you see a daily trend change, when we're in a daily uptrend and then we confirm a daily downtrend with no follow through, usually that means zoom out to the longer term time frames, so the weekly, and look for a potential bull flag. And that's exactly what we're looking at. And we're also holding EMA 26 there on Tesla as well, sitting at 1,016. We're below it here this morning, and it looks like a daily inside bar as well. So SPY's a daily inside bar, S&P 500, so is Tesla. So we're likely going to expect Tesla to break and then SPY to follow suit as well, because we know Tesla is very heavily weighted in SPY. So if you're looking at Tesla and SPY, I think you need to be watching both of those charts at the moment. So SPY, Hexo currently daily consolidation, so we are losing 165. So I did have a inverse head and shoulders drawn out here. I guess as long as we hold EMA 26 there at around 161, 160, not the end of the world. We could see it's not the most picture perfect inverse head and shoulders, but the psychology still remains, so we'll watch for that. But if we do lose 160, we do have a daily higher low support here at 132, so bull's got a lot of room to form that daily higher low. CGC pretty much flat here this morning. ACB pretty much flat. Taking a look at Tilray, pretty much flat as well, so not really seeing much movement. We know that we had that bill from the Republicans that was being introduced, but we haven't seen anything. There was also some opposition from the same Republican Party in that state that was opposed to it. So again, just a little political back and forth. I think it's just political theater. Personally, I think it's just a way to maximize profits on the way up and the way down. They can create a top and then buy the bottom and get people to FOMO in, and then get them to sell the bottom and the dip that they were waiting for. So I think we're going to continue to see this this back and forth, just talking heads kind of backing forth at each other and not really being able to get anything done. But I do think that we're going to see some positive movements out of this. And like I said, we got tons of room. Like Tilray, for example, we have a daily higher low here at 1140. So we could come all the way back to about 1140 and still be in a daily uptrend. No major red flags. And this is what I said in my video from Friday, that we would likely push up into Monday, and then we would see the market open. We would continue to push up, get people to FOMO in, and then we would pull back. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We had the upper wick yesterday, closed near the low of the day, and a lot of names starting daily consolidation today. So we'll scout that daily higher low. We need to confirm hourly trend changes to mark the daily bottoms on MJ. And just taking a look at MSOS. So MSOS pretty much flat as yesterday as well. But again, upper wick and closed near the low of the day. We had a pretty bearish reversal candle. And we can scout daily higher lows. And anything above 28.39 is a daily higher low. If we lose that level, we lose the daily uptrend. But anything above that, we're just looking for a daily higher low. And bulls are still in full control. Nothing really to see here. We also seen BAM had a little bit of bid action yesterday, so we saw a little bit of movement in BAM, and I mentioned that on Friday as well. I said watch for BAM and those smaller caps to potentially get some of those tier 1 rotation and profits taking out of the tier 1 names. And BAM saw a little bit of love yesterday, but not a whole lot. We'll see if it can rebound a bit here today. But we are over EMA 12 and 26, and we could see a bull cross of those EMAs as well. And we're going to continue to monitor the shroom space as well, but we had a little bit of a heads up, right? We've been correlated to the shroom space, and the shroom stock started to bounce, and MNMD, Mind Medicine, off the lows was up about 31%. So that gave us another clue with MJ, right? We knew that MJ was very correlated to the shroom space. We knew that Canadian MJ and US MJ and the shroom space wasn't participating in the market rally. It was actually moving opposite of SPY. And then when we started to see the growth names like Tesla and some of those EV names start to take profits, we started to see that profit roll over to the MJ space. And one little bit of a heads up that we had that MJ could be seeing some consolidation is MNMD saw a pretty big nasty drop there from 294 all the way back down, gave it the whole move back of about 25%. So that gave me a little bit of a heads up that we could see MJ sell off as well, just because of how correlated all of those sectors have been, right? So again, all of these things don't necessarily matter all of the time. Correlations come and go. It's just another clue that you can use in your analysis to say, okay, well, MJ has been very correlated to the shroom space. MJ has now bounced 30 to 40% off the lows. Mind Medicine held its 216 support, and it saw about 30 to 40% off the lows. So one would think that, that we could see a major reversal across MJ and the shroom space. But again, when we saw Mind Medicine drop and give that whole move back, that gave me a little bit of a heads up that we could see some weakness in MJ. And sure enough, we got it across the board yesterday in a fairly big way. So pretty much going to end it there. Like I said, I do have an appointment to run to. I have a dentist appointment here to run to. So I wanted to get this out a little quicker. I will give it, I see we have some people joining us, so welcome, good morning. And if you have any quick tickers, I'll wait around for about 30 seconds just in case anybody does have any tickers. But we are bouncing back here. It looks like we're confirming 15-minute uptrends, or trying to here on Bitcoin. So just bring up the 15-minute chart. So from the low of 58,000, we are a 15-minute bull flag, but we can actually zoom out to the 30-minute. It's more of a 30-minute bull flag, actually. So if we just take the low to the high, and then we do a quick measured move, that could take us up to about 62,200. So we'll be watching for that level. If we do get over 61,295, we have a lack of resistance until 61,500. And then after that, really a lack of resistance. Basically no resistance up until about 66,000. So it's looking pretty good. 15-minute confirmed uptrend here on Ethereum, and also a 30-minute confirmed uptrend. So 30-minute uptrends confirming on a lot of our names. So like I said, Bitcoin did exactly what I thought it was going to do. I said, expect 60,000. If we lose 60,000, expect to drop to 58,000. We hit 58,000 right on the money. And like I said, futures ETF launches today. I don't think it's a coincidence that the infrastructure got signed by Biden yesterday. It was a bit of a sell the news because we knew there was some information in there that was negative and bearish for the crypto space. So that ended up being a sell the news. They were able to crash the price. Whales were able to reload about 12% cheaper. And then knowing today that the futures ETF for Bitcoin launches, they can not only reload cheaper on Bitcoin and buy physical Bitcoin, now they can buy the futures ETF and make bullish bets on the price going up to 75,000 or above. Now they're going to reload on Bitcoin way cheaper, and they're going to load up on these futures contracts. It just goes to show you how manipulated this market is. All right, going to leave it there. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth for a live stream for Tuesday, November 16th before market open. And we'll see you in the chat room in a few minutes.